Hello, this is davidji, and welcome to another week of Life Tools. This week we explore archetypes. Archetypes are the mythical characters, either from the past, from your childhood, who are currently in our lives. They could be forces of nature, but they're aspects outside of ourselves that we admire, that we put attention on. And what does it mean when we admire something? Well, of course, anything you admire, you already have those traits and qualities embedded within you, whether you believe that or not, but you do. And when we admire something, essentially we're saying to ourselves, oh, I would like a little more of that. I would like another way of accessing that. So let's give an example. Let's say it's Ganesha, the remover of obstacles. You don't have to pray to Ganesha. You don't have to have a deep relationship with Ganesha, but Ganesha is essentially the remover of obstacles. So let's say there are emotional blockages. Let's say there are physical barriers. Let's say there are mental limitations that you believe exist in your life or that you've placed there. So we admire Ganesha because Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. So whether it's his big ears that allow you to listen just a little bit more, whether it's the little mouse, his vehicle that he rides on to get into all the nooks and crannies so you can drill down and see granular aspects. Maybe it's just the surrender aspect, that Ganesha is always a solution-oriented individual. So you don't have to have a big Ganapati belly like Ganesha, if that's what you admire. It's really, are you looking for solutions? Are you awake and open to new directions and to new situations? Are you allowing the next moment to unfold? You know that beautiful line of Lao Tzu's, do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Do you have the patience to wait until the right action arises by itself? Well, that would be Ganesha. But it doesn't have to be Ganesha. Let's say it's Maya Angelou, who spoke so impeccably and so beautifully and so clearly to get her message across, but not just to convey information, but to awaken and inspire and set a standard. Well, maybe you have some of that resting inside of you and you want to awaken that. Maybe it's Nelson Mandela, who was able to see peace and be peace. Martin Luther King, able to flow ahimsa, nonviolence, and yet get all his objectives. Imagine Martin Luther King, in an age before technology, created these viral messages that the world continues to ripple, 30, 40, 50 years after he began his explorations. Well, those things rest inside of you as well. So whether it's Eleanor Roosevelt, whether it's Hillary Clinton, whether it's the magnificent sun that gives us such divine light, and as Hafiz would say, after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, you owe me. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights up the whole sky. And so maybe you could be a little more humble as you shine your light. Well, whatever it is, whatever archetype, maybe it's Winston Churchill, when you're going through hell, keep going. So when we find ourselves stuck or constricted, or when we just say, I could use a little more support, that's when we want to evoke and connect to the archetypal force that's already resting deep within. But by partnering with this archetype, whoever this may be, maybe it's Thor, maybe it's Casper the Friendly Ghost, maybe you could use a little more compassion, so it's Mother Teresa or Pema Chodron. Whatever you're going, wherever you're going, Thich Nhat Hanh, find a person, and it doesn't have to be anyone I've just mentioned. It could be your mom, your dad, one of your school teachers, a coach, a boss, someone who just inspires you. You want a little bit more of that, which is already resting deep within. So this week, how do we awaken our archetypes? When we find ourselves stuck, we say, come on, I want to awaken my inner Hillary Clinton. I want to awaken my inner Maya Angelou. And this will give us the strength. And as we start to think about what are those traits, what are those characteristics, we embolden ourselves. We step into our power. We let go of what no longer serves us, and we move into what does, using that support. So regardless of where you think it's coming from, you're just channeling the divine in every moment anyway. But this week, let's awaken our archetypes. Let's make a list of the top 10 archetypes in your life that you want a little bit more of what they've had to offer and express into the world. From the sweet spot of the universe, this is davidji, and I'm wishing you an amazing week of awakening archetypes. Namaste. I'll see you in the gap.